Thank you all so much for being here for our home tour concert. As you may or may not know, like maybe a week ago, we were in Greece, which was such a wonderful, fantastic adventure for all of us. I hope as you came in early, you saw a very small percentage of the pictures that we all took, as well as some quotes from students. As part of going on the trip, they had to register for a class. And as part of that class, they filled out like a journal of reflecting upon their adventures in Greece with us. And so you got to see a few of those quotes, which was really, really nice. The chamber winds portion of this concert and going to Greece, the idea was kind of a bookmarks, postcard, passport to the world. So we, of course, open with a very important song in American culture, and then throughout the program, we jump all around. This next piece, Constellations, is by an alumnus of Monmouth College. His name is Sean Klink. He also teaches composition here, so I hope you enjoy his work, Constellations, and then we'll move into the program. We've got a nice little British Isles tune, Fantasia on the Dargeson, which is sort of about like a mythical bear-like creature that sometimes turns into a woman and chases people. Very fun stuff. Yeah, so we hope you enjoy the next two tunes. Seriously, that last one, it's about all sort of like British Isles dances, but it's just not quite the same unless you're imagining a bear chasing you around while you're doing the dancing. So I hope you caught a little bit of that energy. We move on to one of my favorite styles of music. If you came to one of our spring concerts last year, you will remember we did a Spirited Away medley from the Studio Ghibli movies. And so on our kind of postcard tour of Greece, we took My Neighbor Totoro, which maybe a few of you have seen, maybe not. So this next one features just a bunch of different tunes and styles from that movie, and I think you'll really enjoy it. just two more for you, the chamber winds portion, and then we'll have a brief, not really intermission, but we'll need just a couple minutes for a quick set change. So we appreciate your patience with that. The next two, so this next one is the Dança Brasileira, which is basically a Brazilian style of like street drumming parade music. If you know of this thing across the world called like Carnival, think like Mardi Gras parades and festivals in New Orleans, or also down in Rio de Janeiro. Often there's a Carnival celebration with just a whole bunch of racket. And so there's this street drumming tradition in those parts of the world area, called batucada, but we also find this style of drumming and parade and carnival celebration throughout the world. And oddly enough, we did not know this until we were in Greece, but their carnival season was actually happening while we were there. So it's all centered around Patra, which is one of the places that we stayed in for several days. And you could see, we went to the Greek version of Walmart called Jumbo, and it was fantastic. But you could tell that everybody there was getting ready for Jumbo. They're buying like the carnival masks and noisemakers and all of this stuff. And so it was just I guess a Bob Ross happy little accident that I programmed this piece that also coincided with what was happening there. So the next piece, the dance, I hope you will enjoy. It's a racket and a half. And then we will conclude with Sonho di Volare, which is Dream of Flight, written by an Asian American composer, but very much with an Italian title. So we hope you enjoy our last two, and thank you again for being here.
Hi, thank you so much for coming. And as Justin said, we had a wonderful time in Greece. We were there over spring break. We left on Saturday the 9th and got back on Sunday the 17th and saw incredible things, historic sites, the Acropolis, the Parthenon, Delphi, Corinth, ancient theaters. It was just stunning, so many things that we saw. Incredible weather every day, some sunshine and temperatures in the 60s, so just wandering around seeing incredible, historic, beautiful things was really special. And also gave 3 full-length concerts to packed crowds in Greece was a really special thing too. So we're very excited and happy to be sharing our music with you here tonight. The next piece is called Northern Lights, and it's by Ola Gjeilo. He originally is a Norwegian composer who's been living in the States for about 20 years. And he wrote this piece. It's a sacred text from the Song of Solomon from the Bible. But the actual inspiration is the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis. And so he writes that this piece and its text is about beauty, a terrible, powerful beauty, although the music is quite serene on the surface. He wrote it in 2007 in Christmas in Norway, and wrote also how this terrible beauty is so profoundly reflected in the Northern Lights, or Aurora Borealis, which, having grown up in the southern part of the country, I've only seen once or twice in my life. It is one of the most beautiful natural phenomena I've ever witnessed, and has such a powerful electric quality that must have been both mesmerizing and terrifying to people in the past, when no one knew what it was and when much superstition was attached to these experiences. So here's Northern Lights by Ola Gjeilo. The next song, Old Friend, was originally a Paul Simon tune when it was Simon and Garfunkel. 1968, he wrote and sang this song about the impressions and feelings he has looking at two old friends sitting on a park bench in a park and sort of reflecting and musing about life and friendship and looking ahead decades to the future when he might himself be in a similar situation with an old friend.
Anniversary of Estonia's founding.
Thank you very much. Chorale is going to come up and sing for you in just a couple of minutes. And before that, you will hear a little message from Corey Pevitz, one of the Chorale officers.
Thanks, Tim. Hello. My name is Corey Pevitz, and I'm the treasurer of the Monmouth College Chorale. And based on my title, you probably can guess what I'm going to be talking about. But before we get there, I want to start by talking about what these international trips mean to a student like me. So we got back a week ago from Greece, and as Tim said, we performed in 3 different locations to 3 different audiences who spoke pretty much no English. But one of the hosts of one of the venues that we performed at talked about music being a universal language. How music goes beyond words, and it goes strictly to meanings, and shared meanings of humanity. And there's something beautiful about this collectivistic ideals that all of us, regardless of where we were born, what languages we speak, we can all share some sort of happiness and joy. One of my favorite memories from Greece was us performing at the Athens School of Music in Athens, Greece. And the children being so excited just to share their music with us and for us to be heard. And there's something very special about that experience that can't be replicated in any other place unless you're international and you experience these other cultures and you interact with them and you partake in them. There's something very special about that. And now, here's my pitch. These trips are only possible with generous contributors and generous contributions. And so, as you probably saw on your way in, there's a little donation box that says the nice word donations on it. And we would all very much appreciate it if you would contribute either on your way in, if you already did, thank you, or on your way out, leaving, if you've been moved by some of the pieces that you've heard here today. So once again, thank you so much for coming, and thank you, and I hope you enjoy our music.
Thank you very much. That was Domine Deus by David Calderella. He's a young, up-and-coming composer who is still in graduate school, and we had a fun connection with him. I think Megan posted on Instagram that some of the pieces we were going to be performing in Greece, and including that piece, and he saw the post and commented on it and said how excited he was that we were performing his music in Greece, and he would love to hear a recording. So that was a fun moment for us. The next piece is Bach sort of reimagined. Bach wrote a beautiful piece called Come Sweet Death, and we will sing that and then do something kind of unusual with it. I hope you enjoyed that. The next piece is called El Dorado by a young Slovenian composer, Andrej Makor, and it's a setting of a text by Edgar Allan Poe. And it's about a knight who's been wandering for years searching for El Dorado, the lost city of gold. And he's getting tired and he's getting old and he feels like he's not going to achieve his dream, and he encounters a shade or a shadow who tells him to ride on sort of perhaps into death, we don't know. And the composer brings out so many cool images of the feelings and emotions and images of the poem, and in really cool, interesting ways. So I hope you enjoy it.
We Can Mend the Sky, and it's about the civil war and crisis, the decades of violence that have been going on in Somalia. There's been violence, unrest, and civil war in Somalia for over 30 years, with the result that hundreds of thousands of Somali people have been displaced and have fled the country to neighboring countries and across the world, including to the United States. The largest community of Somali refugees in the United States is in Minnesota, where there are over 80,000 Somali immigrants living there. And many of their children were born in Somalia, and their early years were spent in sometimes in violence, sometimes families were literally running for their lives. So they grew up with danger and violence, and they and their families are trying to make a better and a new life here in the States. The composer of this piece, Jake Runestad, his sister is a middle school teacher in Minneapolis, and at a school where there are lots of Somali refugees. And so Jake and his sister decided to ask the children to write poems about their experiences, about what they'd escaped and what they hoped for in the future. He received over 100 poems and looked through them all, read them all, and he found one in particular that really captured something powerful and captured both what they'd gone through and what they were hoping to achieve, or the better life that they were trying to find in peace, in the end of conflict. So you have both the fear of violence, the experiences of families running for their lives in this piece, and eventually a message of hope and coming together to find a better way of life.
Thank you so much again for coming. I hope you've enjoyed the music. We will, of course, end the concert with a flame of white and crimson, but before that, our last song is Sigala Gala. It is an African spiritual that's full of life and happiness and energy. It has slow parts and fast parts, but this rousing fast part keeps coming back, and it's, I hope you enjoy it.